Hello, mystical light beings, and welcome to Lena Mystic, where we embrace our spiritual awakenings by identifying our personal power and authentic selves. I'm here to help you to decode spiritual signs and synchronicities so that you can get on your authentic path to purpose. Today, we're just going to cover angel number 1212 and the spiritual meaning of it, what angel number 1212 means, and why you keep seeing it. If you'd like to read up on the full in-depth article that I wrote about angel number 1212, you can go to my website, lenamysticoracle.com, where you can find mystical items such as sage, palo santo, crystals, all types of awesome stuff, as well as merchandise, very spiritual merchandise, and just amazing things on there, and a lot of blogs about spiritual content. But let's go ahead and get into what angel number 1212, one very powerful number, means and why you keep seeing it. I want to start off by saying that angel number 1212 is a very powerful number to be seeing. If you're seeing it, then you are experiencing some type of spiritual awakening or enlightenment about many things in your life currently. Not just one, but many things, and your life is changing for the better. This is a number that you want to actually find out what it means because it's quite specific. It's telling you that greatness is coming to you. This number says that all of the hard work, the inner work that you've been doing is coming into fruition in your day-to-day life, and that karma is on your side. This is a beautiful number to be seeing. You're so blessed. The first thing I want to cover about angel number 1212 is that it says that you are free. You're free to do as you choose. If you want to open up the next multi-million-dollar company, you can do that. If you want to work for a multi-million-dollar company, you can do that. If you want to open up your own plant nursery, you can do that. If you want to work wherever you want to work, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to have a child, you can do that. If you like whatever you want to do, you're free to do it. Your guides are supporting you, and they're saying if you're passionate about something, if you want to be passionate about something in particular, go ahead and obtain that thing. Figure out how you can obtain it. Create little goals and big goals so that you can reach that big goal that you have in your mind, and do what you feel you need to do to feel fulfillment. This number is about fulfillment and finding out what makes you feel fulfilled and what makes you feel joyous and happy and secure. This number is telling you to find out more about yourself, where you're passionate and what makes you feel happy. Just really dive into yourself and figure out what fulfillment looks like for you. Ask yourself, when the word fulfillment is said, what does that look like? Does it look like having 3 kids? Does it look like working a job that, their foundation is spirituality? What does that dream life look like for you? And if you don't know yet, try to explore some of your natural talents and hobbies that you've had over the years, and then it may expand into something else, okay? Angel number 1212 is saying not to conform to what other people expect of you and not conform into little boxes that people put you in, but to figure out what your own box is. And maybe it's not a box at all. Maybe it's universal. Maybe it's huge. Maybe it's limitless. Whatever it is, you have to figure out what serves your spirit rather than your ego or someone else's ego and their depiction of you. When you start exploring these talents and these hobbies and things, you will find out so much about yourself, what your values are, what your standards are, and you'll start putting more self-worth into you and stop letting other people tell you your value and your worth. So once again, the first thing is you are free, and angel number 1212 is asking you what you truly desire, and I can feel your angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors around me right now. I'm seeing quite a bit of them, and it's just that's my dog. It's a very strong, energetic, positive feeling and emotion that I'm getting, and you all may be feeling your ancestors or divine power around you at this time when you see this number, or a little bit before, a little bit after, whatever the case is. You have support to do what you truly desire, what your spirit is leading you to. Number 2 is to remember to have fun. Life should be fun. Life should not constantly be stressful. And if you're constantly stressed, you're not living the life that's made for you. So ask yourself, where could you take these toxic things out of your life? Where could you add more joy into your life? Start really trying to reinvent your life and reinvent yourself to match more to spirit rather than ego. And like I said, you can do this by exploring your hobbies, exploring the things that you enjoy, exploring doing things for others, because sometimes when you do things for others, you find out things about yourself. Which is funny because angel number 1212 is the equivalent to angel number 6, and that is all about family. Not just necessarily blood related people, but people who choose you and you choose them for who you are. And these are the people that try to bring you closer to your higher self rather than weighing you down. Family are the people who choose your most authentic self, choose you for who you are in your most authentic way. If you understand what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying. If you don't, I don't know how to say it any differently. Maybe you can. But family is so important, and it's all about this compassion and understanding when it comes to family, and even comes to yourself. So when you think of yourself, don't be too hard on yourself. This is remember to have fun. So remember to laugh at these mistakes. Remember to grow from these mistakes, and know that nothing is quite set in stone. Life is eternal. So you always get another chance to figure things out. Keep exploring new ways. Keep learning. Just because you made one mistake does not mean that's the end. It's not the end, especially if you have time to notice that it's a mistake. Then you have time to also fix it and to figure out how you can make things better in the future. Angel number 1212 also reminds us to be grateful for the little things in life that we see as little things. Like, for example, you know, I pulled up something in the fridge and I saw that there were strawberries in there, and I'm like, oh, my husband loves me. Like, that's such a big thing for me. I did an event and they gave out certificates for people who did the event, and I was like, this is so sweet. Like, oh my God. And they were looking at me like, why is she jumping up and down about a piece of paper? Because you thought of me. That's a huge deal. That is a beautiful thing. And just to know that God thinks of us every day, each one of us. And there's like how many people, billions of people on this planet alone, just this planet. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And just knowing that, you know, you have people in your life, or you have things in your life, whatever it is, be grateful for those little things that actually are big things, major things that create this mass of beauty in your life. Be grateful. Being grateful is so important, especially if you want to welcome more opportunity, more abundance, more prosperity, more joy into your life. Number 3 is radiate acceptance. Accept yourself for who you are. If you've made mistakes in the past, accept that you made that mistake, but also figure out how you can bring more light into your future, into your present. And I want to clear up that acceptance isn't necessarily settling for things. Acceptance is saying, yes, this person stole from me. What do I want to do now? What can I control now? Because I can't control that they stole from me beforehand. But now that I know they stole from me, what do I want to do? You could either choose to ignore it, which that's not acceptance, and let them come back to your home, or you can choose to accept it, have a talk with them and say, I'm not okay with this. This is unacceptable. And although you're accepting it, but it's unacceptable and it's uncalled for and it's inappropriate. So I'm not going to invite you back to my home for a while, but when you gain my trust again, you can come over. You're welcome to come over. Or you can also say, I know that you stole from me and it's inappropriate. I'm going to let you come back over, but if you steal from me again, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have some beef. You know, there's so many ways that acceptance works, but the first thing is saying I accept, and I notice and I realize that this has happened. Now this is what I can control, and this is how I'm going to move forward with it. Acceptance is teaching you that you don't have control over anyone's actions completely, but you do have control over what you do, how you react, and who you are on your day-to-day. So that is what acceptance is, saying I am who I am, and if I want to grow, I'm going to have to make that choice every day. But I know who I am right now. I know where I'm lacking, and I know where I'm great, but I want to stop lacking these things and I want to grow them, so I'm going to choose to do that. So acceptance is all about choice. Number 4 is saying that you are abundant. Angel number 1212 is saying you've got it. You have already got it. You've already earned it. It is yours. But the thing about abundance is some of us block our own because we think that we're not capable or we're not worthy or that it's impossible. But like I say, guys, impossible already says I'm possible. So know that anything that you desire is already yours. As long as you believe in it, you will find a way. I talk about how the Wright brothers said, one day we're gonna fly. And people are like, no, that's not gonna happen. That's impossible. But the Wright brothers were like, no, we're gonna fly. We're gonna make a way. And because they believed that we were gonna fly, they created the airplane. And now we do get to fly on a day-to-day basis, and it's beautiful. So if you believe that something is possible, you will always find a way. Remember that when you see angel number 1212, that materialistic things should not always consume your time and your worries. And if you desire more materialistic things, such as, money or whatever, which is completely necessary to live, don't beat yourself up about desiring more money. Instead, see money as a positive thing and as a healthy thing and something that desires you as much as you desire it. I think a lot of us block our financial blessings because we think of money as a negative thing and also pray that negative things don't come our way. So if you think of money as a negative thing and you're praying that negative things don't come your way, you're not going to get that money. So start changing your mindset about how you see money and what you think of money as. I think of money as some type of nourishment, like it nourishes us because it allows us to buy food. It allows us to buy the things that do nourish us. So it is some type of nourishment for us. Another thing about being abundant is that people who are abundant should be grateful. If you're grateful for what you already have, even if you feel like you won $1 million and you only have $200 in the bank account, still be and think abundantly. Think, wow, I am wealthy. And remember that not all abundant people keep spending. So be very practical when you're spending your money and plan it out and budget properly, because wealthy people keep their wealth because they're budgeting, because they're being smart with their money. So be smart with your money as if you are already wealthy, and tell yourself that you're wealthy so you don't need to keep buying all of these things, these materialistic things that don't provide nourishment. Instead, you want to buy things that provide nourishment, and sometimes it takes a while to be able to build up the financial means to get those things, and wealthy people know that as well. Wealthy people are not going to say, people who stay wealthy, they're not going to say, oh, I'm going to spend $300 million on this thing I just saw today. Like, they're going to think about it. They're going to speak with their accountant. That's the type of stuff that you should be doing if you want to be wealthy. But back to feeling gratitude. When you're blessed, you attract more blessings into your life. You're thinking, I am blessed, so those blessings just continue to flow. And that's how you want to start thinking, especially when you see angel number 1212. Start thinking and feeling as if you already have what you desire, even if it's one and you desire 10 of them. Think of it as, wow, I'm grateful for this $1 bill. I'm so grateful. And then who knows? That same day you may find a $20 bill as a bookmark in one of your books. And that's happened to me before. So just be grateful for what you already have so that God can see, wow, if you can be grateful for this, the universe will see and be like, I should give you more. Because this feeling is a great feeling. You're welcoming in more joy into your life with this feeling. So let's go ahead and give you more. Each day is so important to sit with your gratitude and give gratitude to the things that you have in your life. I know that during difficult times, it can be very challenging to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But when you have faith and when you already have been blessed in your life, you have to look back and say, God always comes through. Spirit always comes through. So why would I give up faith now? Why would I give up faith now if God has always come through for me? Let me just keep my positive mindset. I can be angry for a while. I can be angry and sit with that anger for a little bit and accept that anger. But then once I accept that anger, that's not the end. I have to see what I want and how I want to feel and what makes me feel better. Change it, flip the script, and start sitting in that gratitude for the way that God has already come through in my life. And start sitting with the joy that I know that God's going to come through, because God always comes through. No matter how rough and tough the storm is, you will always remain blessed in some area of your life. So remember that and reflect on all the times that God really did come through in your life, and that you felt the support of spirit and your spirit guides and your ancestors and so on and so forth, because the support is eternal. The support is everlasting. Remember that the hardships are only temporary, and you will always have options because you are divinely highly favored. Number 5 is that balance is imperative. It's so important to remain balanced, and this balance has a lot to do with accepting when you are disappointed and kind of looking at that disappointment and seeing what you could do with it. A lot of people think that this, balance is all positive, love, and light, but it gets a little dark sometimes, and you do have to sit with that darkness. You can't just flip it, because now your spirit is upset. Now deep down you're rattled, but you're just, everything's fine. No, it's not. Like, deep down you're really struggling and you're drowning, but on the outside you're not screaming for help. So it's so important to restore the balance in your life when it comes to your mental stability and actually facing when you're disappointed, when you're upset. And I tell people all the time, like, I will go off on God sometimes. I know it sounds inappropriate, I know, but I need to let God know when I'm disappointed about something. Like, if I prayed for something and God said I was gonna get it and I didn't, I'm gonna be like, God, where's it at? I'm getting a little upset, okay? I'm getting a little crazy, so I'm gonna need you to come through. Okay? Like, I really do go off on God sometimes, and I yell. I literally yell. Sometimes I curse. And I'm like, I don't understand. like, why do I go through this shit? Like, I really do go off. And the craziest thing is, when God sees that I'm channeling other emotions and that I'm restoring the balance, I see that God is coming through and actually saying, you know what? Here you go. It's so important to face all of your emotions, because we were gifted all of these emotions, to explore all of these emotions, learn how to kind of, I don't want to say control them, but use them and learn them and all of these things. You really have to learn all of your emotions so that you don't let them control you, so that you don't let ego control you. And I'm not saying that all sadness and anger is ego, because your spirit can be upset too about things, but when you let it control you, that is when you're letting ego control. It's so important to restore the balance. If you feel a sense of loss, let yourself feel that sense of loss. Come to the realization that you can do something now in the present, and what is that? Another way to restore balance in your life is to begin self-care. A lot of us work too hard. A lot of us are working constantly. I mean, that's the whole thing in America. Work. I don't get any sleep. I work all the time. Like, that's not cute. That's not okay. You're supposed to be living a balanced life. You're supposed to be getting rest and then going to work and then finding time to spend with family. Like, this life is all about balance. So where can you restore more balance into your life? Do you probably need more self-care? Are the bottom of your feet crusty? Like, are your hands crusty? Is your face crusty? Like, is your hair crusty? Ask yourself, where can you provide more love and balance to yourself and to your life and to your family and to your job, or wherever it is, wherever the balance needs to be restored. I do recommend, for those of you who are feeling exhausted all the time, to not only look into astrology and what's going on with the retrogrades and stuff, but to also look into yourself and say, how can I do things that make me feel light, that light my spirit up, that make me happy, that give me energy? Is that getting my nails done? Is that getting a facial? Is that getting my hair done or doing my hair? Is that, for some people it's shopping, and that's not necessarily a problem. Of course, you don't want to do anything excessively. Anything excessively can be unhealthy for you. But what is it that provides more light in your life, that's healthy, and that provides nourishment for not just one moment, but for a long span of time? And to me, that is getting my nails done. I love talking to my nail tech. I love hanging out with her, getting some time to myself, not hearing my son scream at me, milk. for water. Like, it's nice. So figure out what those things are for you. It could be meditation, it could be prayer, it could be showering for long periods of time, taking a long bath, it could be giving yourself a pedicure, you can be giving yourself a facial, listening to music, dancing, whatever it is. Figure out what it is and do more of it. Make time for it. I don't want to hear anybody say, I don't have time. You have time, you need to make it. You need to make and schedule it in, just like you be scheduling unnecessary stuff in, like watching TV shows on Netflix. Go ahead and schedule it in, okay? Number 6 is about welcoming in this new journey. Your life is changing so much right now with angel number 1212. I mean, with the 2s, it's saying have faith, your life is changing. With the 1s, it's saying your life is changing, there's a new beginning. With the 6, it's saying it's going to change your family, work, personal life, whatever it is. It's changing these multiple things in your life, and it's for the better. It may look bad, but these feathers are just getting ruffled so that everything can be set onto your path, so that everything can be straight, and you know, you'll be good. You know, you're being looked after, and sometimes these things have to get shaken up so that where things are meant to fall into place, they will. And oftentimes it feels like, okay, maybe, but then you think, no, I don't know if everything's into place. But then things get shaken up and you're like, oh no, everything's a mess now. But then you start finding your way and you're like, oh, okay, this is better than before. And that's gonna happen a lot in our lives. It's meant to, especially when we're growing and actively trying to grow. So welcome in this new journey, because it's really looking after you, and it's exciting, and it's lovely, and it's providing more light and joy into your life. I want to remind you that angel number 1 being doubled in this is telling you to really listen to your intuition. So if you've been drawn to a certain path, a certain frequency, a certain thing, a certain person, listen to your intuition, because it's driving you where you belong. Listen to it. Really listen to it. And the best way to strengthen your intuition is to meditate or spend time with yourself and with spirit. The last final thing, number 7, is to live with purpose. Be intentional with your day-to-day actions. Don't give your energy to too many outer negative things. Like if somebody's gossiping and all they ever do is gossip, stop hanging out with that person, or tell them, you know, I really don't want to talk about people right now. I'm really just trying to focus on growing. And they're gonna be like, oh, you've changed. Who cares? Like, okay, I'm supposed to. Like, you don't see butterflies sing as caterpillars for all of their life, do you? Okay, I'm a caterpillar turning into a butterfly right now. Accept it or get away from me, okay? Honestly, just live with purpose. Be intentional with anything that you're giving your energy to and anything that you're taking in to your spirit, because life is about being intentional. You don't want to just do things just to do them. You just don't want to like I want to tell you guys to flow, but that's when you're on a high vibration. You don't want to flow in a negative vibration, a vibration that doesn't nourish you, a vibration that doesn't fuel you and fulfill you. You want to be fulfilled on your journey, and that takes a lot of intentional work. Waking up and not looking on Facebook or looking at Housewives of Atlanta or whatever those shows are called or whatever. Those are intentionally dramatic so that it draws people's attentions. Why don't you be intentional with your morning? Wake up, eat a healthy breakfast. That's already one intentional thing. Not look at your phone. That's another intentional thing. Meditate and pray. That's an intentional thing. You know, a lot of people don't realize it, but I do think that prayer before you eat is so important. You want to ask God to restore high vibrations into your food to fuel you throughout your day. That intention alone is so powerful that it can really change your whole day. And doing that every day can change your whole life. So be intentional with everything that you do. Be intentional with what you eat. And I know sometimes you're gonna have some slip-ups. Like, I'm supposed to be vegetarian. I'm trying to be vegetarian, but sometimes I eat meat for dinner. Like, I'm not vegetarian. But I know I need to figure out exactly why I'm doing it. I need to be more intentional. Well, why am I being vegetarian? I know that meat upsets my stomach. I know that when I eat meat, sometimes I feel extremely sad. Not because I'm thinking of meat, but then like an hour later, I'm like, oh, I ate meat. Duh, I'm an empath. Like, of course, that's gonna happen sometimes. But guys, let me get back to it. Be intentional with your everyday, day-to-day, every moment, day-to-day, okay? Because that will change your life for the better. You'll start finding yourself doing things that you love rather than doing things just because. You'll start finding jobs that resonate with you rather than doing a job just for financial well-being, and it's not even paying all of the bills. It's not even providing the fulfillment that it's supposed to. So, you'll start seeing things for what they truly are and what just doesn't resonate anymore, what doesn't resonate with you, your family, whatever it is. Each person, each experience, each thing in our life, even environments, have an impact on us. So be intentional with what impact you're allowing into your life. Start excluding the things that negatively pull you down or have a negative impact on you, and start focusing more on the positive impacts and how you can bring more joy and inspiration and motivation into your life. I think that living with purpose has a lot to do with choosing what you spend the most time on. For example, if you're living a job that you don't, you're working a job, and it's kind of like you're living that job, but if you're working a job that you don't love, you're not passionate about, you're really not doing the job. So why not find a job that you're passionate about, that you can actually complete and feel fulfilled? Because you keep getting this certificate of appreciation, but it doesn't mean anything to you because you're like, I long for something more. If you want to start feeling like you belong somewhere, start being intentional with where you go. Okay? And that's pretty much the last topic I wanted to hit on. I'm so glad that you guys came to watch this video. I hope it inspired you. I hope it moved you. I hope that you are just driven towards what really just resonates with your soul, and that you know that 1212 is asking you what resonates with spirit. Leave ego in the back, to protect you every now and then. Ego to say, hey, don't jump off that mountain. That's gonna be ego sometimes. Ego is that fear, and that fear sometimes protects us, but it also keeps us from not doing things that resonate with us because it's scared that we'll get hurt. But sometimes we need that excitement, that exploration, So guys, I hope this number just sparked up your life. I hope this video did. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and check out my website to read the full in-depth article on it, and any other angel number videos and content, period. You can check out my website for that, and also check out my YouTube. I love you guys so much. I'm sending light and love, and I will see you in another video. Bye.